Welcome back. In our last two videos, we talked about the 4 simple things we can incorporate to help our weight loss journey be a little bit easier. Today, I want to talk about our mindset or our awareness of our habits. This is a huge part of the weight loss journey because we all have habits that have gotten us to where we are. And if where we are isn't where we want to be, changing those habits is going to be the key. Socrates said that the first key to wisdom is to know yourself. And that's this part of the journey. This part of the journey is knowing ourselves. So as we have set habits in the past, this is kind of how it's usually gone. There's some kind of cue, there's some kind of action, and then there's some kind of reward. So perhaps it's I come home from a long day of work and I'm tired and I'm exhausted, and walking in the door of my house is my cue. And then my action is starting to eat the cookies that are on the counter that are left over from my kids' Halloween party, or starting to eat some sort of sugary treat that I don't really want to eat. I know in the long run it's not going to make me feel good about myself. It's not going to build my confidence. I am not going to feel more attractive after I eat this. I'm not going to feel happier or more joyful after I eat this, but it's that action that we're used to doing, and so we do that action even though we know it doesn't actually help us. And then comes the reward, which in the case of eating things like easy, simple carbohydrates, that's going to be the sugar high, the burst of energy, the initial feeling of feeling good after that first bite. But most of us know that after that first bite, after that second bite, it doesn't feel so good anymore, right? And 20 minutes in, when we've eaten the pan of brownies, it really doesn't feel good. And then when we're bloated all night long, it really doesn't feel good. So our first step in breaking these cycles is going to be becoming aware of them. I recommend keeping a journal as you go on this journey and writing down your cues as you notice them. So maybe you notice a cue for you is sitting down to watch a movie, or a cue for you is driving past a certain restaurant, or a cue for you is walking in the door after a long day at work. Whatever your cues are, write your cues. Start to track your cues and become aware of them. This is not to shame yourself. This is not to feel bad about yourself. That's counterproductive. We don't want to feel bad about this. We just want to become aware of this, because shame does not help us change our lifestyle. We've all lived in shame for way too long. We've all felt the shame of making choices that we didn't want to make, or being stuck in patterns of behavior that we didn't want to be in. We all know what that feels like, and that's never done any of us good. Becoming aware of those specific cues, that's going to be a key that begins to unlock the cycle or the habit that you've been in. All right, the number 2, once we recognize the cue, it's going to be to swap out the action. So maybe you walk in the door at the end of a really stressful day, and all you want to do is eat everything in the house. But you know, because you've been paying attention, you know that's not going to make you feel better. So maybe something you do instead is you heat up some water and you make yourself a cup of decaf Earl Grey tea with some creamer, and you begin to sip on that. Maybe you take some time to sit down and journal, or you go for a 10-minute walk with your tea when you get home. Then after that, you make yourself a plate of foods that are actually going to feed your body, that are actually going to feed your cells, that are actually going to begin to help you be a healthier person. And you've got your tea, you've gone for your walk, you've eaten your good meal that you feel good about, you feel proud of yourself for eating this meal, you feel proud of yourself for the decisions that you made. What a different evening, right? What a different situation. You've given yourself the reward of being proud of something that you did. You've given yourself the reward of the confidence that comes with knowing that you are not a victim of your habits. You can change those habits. You can overcome those habits. You can break the cycle. What a reward. And so this is how we begin to change the patterns that have held us and kept us where we are, and begin to move into the next phase of our life. All right, so your assignment from this video is going to be to get a journal, start a note on your phone, something to begin to track those cues, track those feelings of temptation, track where the temptations come in and where you start to feel tempted, and pay attention to that, become aware of it, and then start to swap it. Start to find little swaps. Maybe it's a cup of coffee instead of a plate of brownies, whatever. Begin to incorporate little swaps into your life to break that cycle. All right, this is our third video. Next one's the last one, so I'll see you in the next video.